deportation or immigration issues, which includes going through the naturalisation or neutralisation process. That comes under it as well. Or, of course, some people have actually been deported and things like that. The other area of where you can be awarded compensation is if you can show losses of how it's impacted your life. So if you've been impacted emotionally, mentally, if you've been impacted because you were denied housing and you've had to experience homelessness or sleep on your friend's floors, all of that is included as well. So we'll go into that a bit more into the presentation. Once I've spoken about that, I'm going to discuss the application process. So what are the stages of the application once you complete it and send it off, and what their responses may be and how you can respond. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Everybody can read that. Oh, that's learned.
So I've just explained a lot of that, but just to be clear to everyone, so everybody can understand whether you are eligible or not. If you entered the UK before the 1st of January 1973, so any day before that, up until the 31st of December 1972, if you come to the UK then you are eligible for the scheme automatically. So I hear a lot of people that are older than me, that was born in islands that were British Commonwealth nations, and they say, oh, I don't think I'm eligible. And that's crazy, because you actually are. The reason why people believe they're not eligible is because it hasn't been advertised correctly. Another reason is that many people think that in order to be eligible, you have to have had to have been deported or threatened with deportation or immigration. That's not true. You can qualify for that, and you'll probably get more money if you have been threatened with deportation and immigration. However, even if you haven't been threatened with that, you still qualify under impact of life. Another thing that people believe, which is not true, is that you are only eligible if you come on the ship, which is not true. It doesn't matter how you got here. So long as you got here before the 1st of January 1973 from a British Commonwealth nation, you are eligible for the scheme, period. So are your children, and so your grandchildren as well, and other close family members, including partners that have lived with you for, I think it's over 2 years or more. That's okay, sis. So next slide, please. Also, I want to let people know, because some people ask the question, well, my parents come then, or my grandparents come then, but they're no longer alive, so I don't qualify. That's not correct. If your family members come in that time, whether they're alive or not, you qualify for the scheme, and so do they. So you can make an application on behalf of deceased family members, but only one person can make the application. So for example, if there's a sibling group of 5 people and their parents come over to the UK before the 1st of January 1973, but their parents are no longer alive, only one of them can apply for the compensation, and it must be either their legal appointee, the next of kin, or the main person named in their will. If there's no will, then you can make a family decision of who it's going to be, but it can only be one person. I know these type of discussions in families can sometimes cause disputes, but please don't let this cause disputes between your family. You just need one responsible person, and you need to make an agreement of how the award will be shared between your family. So, who is eligible? These are all the nations that are eligible for the scheme. There's so many on there. People think that the Windrush era and the Windrush community only relate to Caribbeans, but in fact it has all of these countries. There's South Africa, Solomon Islands, there's even Sierra Leone, Seychelles, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Tanzania, the Bahamas, the Gambia, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago. There's Uganda, that's even on there, Zambia. I'm sure someone from Ghana recently told me that their application has been accepted by the Home Office as well. So by the way, a lot of my information is from the government website or from other forms of research. I haven't imagined any of this information. It all comes from factual based research. So there's many other nations, and if you're not sure if your nation is on there, you should either apply or you can call the Home Office for advice. But I would say just apply and let them make a decision of whether you're eligible or not. I can see someone with their hand up. I'm going to take questions at the end of the presentation. So please, if you have questions, write them down or remember them, and I will respond. I will ask questions at the end of the presentation. But as I was saying, people have been calling the Windrush helpline and spoken to the Home Office and asked if they're eligible, and the Home Office have been giving people incorrect advice. Please just apply and let them make a decision of whether you're eligible or not. Next slide, please. Sorry, Dominica. Dominica. Okay, but as I said, I'll take questions towards the end. To meet the eligibility criteria, not only do you have to have entered the UK before the 1st of January 1973,